Monday Night Raw ends with a bang. Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, we had been waiting to hear from them for so long, all night long. We had been waiting 48 hours really to get some answers from them, and we got an answer in a big way, Jared. Their secret weapon, the muscle, has been revealed in this new group. Bron Breakker, the former Intercontinental Champion, comes out, spears the absolute mess out of Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Dude, mind is blown. Wow.
Dude, I mean, I watched WrestleMania. Night one, I was pumped. I was like, let's go. Last night, not so much. Tonight, wow. I mean, mind blown. Yeah. I cannot believe it. I told you Braun was going big places. Didn't think he was going that big that fast. I'll tell you what. I got on WWE Shop and I was just looking, kind of going through some figures and stuff. I saw a Bron Breakker figure, autographed, $80. Last one. Guess who got it? I guarantee the next time that they put them up, you're looking at $200.
Yeah, absolutely you are. Dude is going places for sure. We knew, especially with him dropping the Intercontinental title, that they were going to have big plans for him. Triple H has been on record several times, including after WrestleMania, saying that Bron Breakker is the future of the business, and no bigger way, Jerry, to stamp him as the future of the business than aligning him with Seth Rollins, arguably the greatest in-ring competitor of our generation, and Paul Heyman, who our third man, Andy York, in the chat, is on a work trip, but he's in the chat with us here on YouTube. Paul Heyman is the GOAT, one of, if not the greatest managers of all time. You talk about strapping a rocket to Bron Breakker and putting him in a big-time spot. Jared, the spotlight is on him now.
Dude, I hope that at some point they start calling him Steiner. I think that would be awesome. Sorry, having contact issues here. But I hope that now that, like, he's going places, we've solidified him. I hope we go with the last name Steiner. Even Braun Steiner. I mean, that will be cool.
Yeah, I think it definitely would be too. Continuing to throw up comments in the chat. Again, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have comments, you have questions, drop them in the chat. We will do our best to address as many of them as we can. We both have notes. We both have things we want to talk about.
Big Tom energy.
But you guys drive the show. You guys let us know what you want to talk about. Big Tom Bryce from Sportswire Radio in the chat once again. Thank you, Tom, for your support. We appreciate it so very much. Jared, I wondered what was going on. They put the City Kitty back in the chat. Hey, y'all, what's going on? Appreciate you being tuned back in with us. How did we like tonight? Tom says, well, we're going to get into the rest of the show. Tom, we're trying to recover our brains from how this show ended. Because, like, Jared, you wondered what was going to happen. And obviously Punk was going to come out because he was already advertised, right? And we get the little beat down with Rollins, and they start showing the graphics. We're going off the air, right? The show was already going long as it is. And then Roman's music hits. It's like, oh, man. We're just going to get a stare down and it's fine. Then Breakker shows up out of nowhere. Dude, the possibilities of this, we know that we're not done with Rollins and Reigns. Jared, we know we're not done with Rollins and Punk. Now, imagine the possibilities of Breakker versus Punk and Breakker versus Roman Reigns. I mean, Roman Reigns normally would go home for a couple of months. I don't know about it now. He might be showing up and getting in the mix with Bron Breakker. The possibilities are endless.
Spear versus spear, and I like Braun's better. I hope that he defeats Roman Reigns. I hope he just starts plowing through people, dude. I mean, now is the time. I want to see it.
And then what's going to happen if we're long-term booking? I mean, I know we're excited in the moment. We want to live in this moment and see where they're going to go with this. But Jared, it's Wrestling 101. The story writes itself. Bron Breakker is going to get so huge that Seth Rollins is going to get jealous, turn on him, and then Bron Breakker is going to be a humongous baby face and the face of the company in a year, 2 years, maybe something like that.
Definitely within 5. Definitely.
It's just, it's crazy to me, Jared, how so many people online, and we're sitting here as excited as we are, probably more after the Raw after WrestleMania than night 2 of WrestleMania, which we're going to get into in just a minute. But dude, I don't know. I just feel like the energy now with WWE, it's like, okay, all right, we're back. We didn't go anywhere. You just had to wait on it. The story just continues.
Dude, I cannot wait to see where we go from here. I mean, like you said, so many possibilities. I think that in the future, we're going to look at the Steiner legacy and we're going to say, okay, we've got the Harts, we've got the Flairs, we've got the Steiners.
All the way up there. I like it. I mean, they're one of the greatest tag teams of all time, but then Braun is just going to take this thing to a whole other level. And then Scott has a kid as well, who is training to be a wrestler. He has a kid who's a college athlete. I think he plays basketball and played for Virginia Tech. Anyway, regardless, he has another son that's training to be a wrestler as well. So he has a, I don't know if it's a WWE ID deal or an NIL deal with WWE, something. He's signed in one way or another. So there's another one coming. So the next iteration of the Steiner brothers could be a fun thing. Andy York, our third co-host in the chat, who else would you like to see join this group? Of course, Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, and Bron Breakker. I'm going to give you a name, Jared, and that goes back to something that we saw tonight. Becky Lynch turned heel tonight against Lyra Valkyria, her after losing their tag team championship. I know they're married. I know it didn't work in the past, but Jared, under this new regime, having Becky getting a new paint of coat, as they would say, on something to wrestle with, putting her with this group, I think would be really cool.
Man, I hadn't even thought about that, but every good faction needs a female. I mean, we're top heavy on all the guys.
Yep.
We did see tonight a lot of progress in the women's division, but still, you need to insert a female into this group. And man, I love it. Becky, she's great as both, man. I don't even know which I like her better as, face or heel. I dig her either way, but I would love to see that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. Was there anybody else that came to mind as I was reading that question from Andy? Maybe another guy, maybe an up and comer, maybe another, I don't want to say old timer, but somebody else that could be like the mentor of the group?
I'm thinking. Let's come back to that. Back to that.
All right. We'll come back to that to see who else we might think could be in this group. But man, what again, just an earth shattering way to end Monday Night Raw.
Jacob Fatu.
Wow, you would put Jacob Fatu in this group? Oh my goodness.
I mean, we're going to line it up with stars, baby. Let's go. I mean, I'm in on Jacob. Him and Braun, I think, are the future of this company. I would love to see at some point another version of the Steiners versus the Head Shrinkers. And I think we could see it.
That could be interesting. I almost think I would rather see Tama Tonga than Jacob Fatu, not necessarily for star power, but I guess he would be the one that would bring the group down a bit. But at the same time, you have the muscle in Bron Breakker, you have the brain of Seth Rollins, and then you have Tama Tonga. Man, think about Tama Tonga when he first came in last year, the SmackDown after WrestleMania, how vicious that he was, and just this pit bull going after people and jumping people, and just this dog that would just leech onto people and just sneak attack all the time. I feel like the group needs something like that. Tama Tonga, I think, can fit that role.
I like it. Yeah. The more, I mean, as you were describing it there, I think I like it a little bit better. I still would rather see Jacob. But
for
if
sure.
you can't have Jacob, Tama Tonga.
I think it could be really, really interesting because, Heyman has that connection with them. Talking about the bloodline, of course. Andy chiming in the chat says Carmelo Hayes or Andrade would be a good addition. I could see a place for either of those, honestly. Obviously, you've got Carmelo Hayes, the future of the business. You've got, and has a past history with Bron Breakker. Then you have Andrade, he's kind of not really in a spot right now. So you could find a place for him there, sort of like that mob boss type thing. Lots of different ways that they could go with that. I'm excited to see what they do with it, Jared. This thing has endless possibilities. It
Yes,
really
sir.
does. Very, very excited for it. Again, if you guys are just now joining us, Bron Breakker aligning
Look
himself
at him.
with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Bron Breakker becoming the newest Paul Heyman guy. You talk
Look how
about,
big he is.
look at, he's huge. Look at the way that Paul Heyman was able to bring Brock Lesnar's career to a new stratosphere. Imagine what he can do for Bron Breakker. So,
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect addition to this group. Again, if you are just now joining us, welcome into Squared Circle Radio. Like the video, that helps us get into the algorithm and other people see our stuff. Please subscribe to the channel. We just hit 300 subscribers. We cannot thank you guys enough, especially the new folks that we have brought in over the last week that are tuning into the channel for the first time. We appreciate that so very much. Again, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. We're not going to, doesn't cost you a thing. We're not going to send you an email. We're not going to do anything like that.
We'll give you a shout out.
We'll give you a shout out. That's true. We will. But it's not going to cost you a thing, but it's going to help us a ton.